Now let me share an interesting story with you. During my studies into neuroscience, I decided to test on myself how well the scientific methods of controlling our subconscious neurologic mechanisms work. To do so, I looked for the most challenging way that I could possibly imagine. Therefore, I started to learn freediving, which means learning to dive deeper and deeper underwater without air tanks, purely on a single breath. I thought it was the best way to test the exercises that can shift people's state of mind from one extreme end of the spectrum to the opposite. In my case, it was turning intense panic and anxiety into joyful relaxation and clear-mindedness. Eventually, I learned to dive below 30 meters depth comfortably on a single breath. I achieved this despite I discovered that because of remains of a childhood trauma of almost drowning underwater, I suffered panic attacks during my first attempts already by around 5 meters of depth. At first, it felt like a major setback, but I quickly realized that for my experiment, this unexpected extra challenge was only better. Learning to shift your state of mind from feeling only some nervousness to be joyfully relaxed is much easier than doing the same when deep underwater suddenly intense panic and anxiety strikes in and your heart beats so hard that it feels like it's jumping out of your chest. Fortunately, true science never lets you down. By practicing consciously how to deactivate my stress mechanisms, I could unlearn my subconscious brain to make me anxious and panic. I learned how to shift myself into an exceptionally relaxed, joyful, and clear-minded state despite being 30 meters underwater on a single breath, which is obviously one of the most life-threatening situations that most people can imagine. The best freedivers can go unbelievably far in learning to control the subconscious neurologic processes of stress and relaxation. They become almost like turtles. With the proper preparation, they are capable of diving below 100 meters of depth many times absolutely safely and staying underwater on a single breath for more than 10 minutes. I don't tell this story to suggest that all people should push themselves to such extreme to be able to learn to control their mental and physical states at a high level. I only tell this to illustrate how powerful these mind-controlling techniques can be. Using these techniques, not to push yourself into extremes, but simply to lift yourself out of an unmotivated, depressed, or anxious state of mind and consciously shift your mood towards a motivated, positive, energetic state is very useful for everyone to learn. So, if you think it can be useful to learn for yourself too, subscribe and follow this channel and visit the website humanmindinstitute.org for more information.